All right. I'm going to look at measuring success. I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's similar to a lot of the other digital analytics that we've done. So effective email marketing combines creativity with analysis, and that's a common theme in marketing where we need creative people with analytical people. Some people are better at the analysis, the analytics, other people are better at the creativity. So if you think, I'm struggling with one and not, I'm struggling with analytics but I'm quite creative, there's still a strong, big place for you in marketing, right? If you're struggling with the analytics but aren't creative, then, it's digital marketing people working together, So the opening rate, so these are the metrics that we use to measure success. So the opening rate is the emails open over the emails delivered. And you might go, well, Kevin, how do you know whether people open the emails? And that's a good question. When we send emails, often they have like pixels or stuff in there. So when they download the content of the email, it sends a little bit of data back to our server and says that email's been opened. If they are blocking the content, they might view it so they can see it coming in, and they might see some of the information without the pictures and stuff like that. But from their client side, so they've blocked they've told basically the email client not to send information back to the people that send the email to say that they've downloaded it, right? So that can be done. But most people, if they want to read an email, they'll open it up and then they'll click view the pictures or, enable the viewing, and then we'll know that they've opened it through that way. The click-through rate equals the emails clicked compared to the number of emails that have been delivered, and that's important because we're going to talk about bounce rates coming up. If you've got things on your email list that aren't getting delivered, you should be taking them off your email list, and the click rate's only the ones that get delivered. All right. The conversion rate is the number of transactions that happen. Now, for a retail website, that's probably going to be transactions going to be the purchasing, like buying things, whereas for other websites, the transaction might actually be signing up for a subscription or whatever it is, right? So conversion rate is transactions per web session, so that's the same as web. And an average order value, which is the total order going through over the number of orders, which is pretty simple maths. And then the list churn is the number of unsubscribers over a certain amount of time. So you might go, what's our churn this month? So if we've lost, if just say 20 people have unsubscribed from the email list this month, well, the churn rate will be 20 per month. All right, so I want to look now at avoiding spam filters. So spam mail was also referred to as junk mail, and these are unsolicited messages. And you might go, why is it called spam? And I actually looked into that, and it comes from a play, TV show basically, where I just kept repeating the word spam, 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 spam. So I've got that link in the slides if you want it. So spam, like the link to the video, the YouTube video that explains the origin of the word spam. So spam filters are then programs that detect which emails are spam and block them from being sent or delivered to the email client. So Outlook or your Gmail or whatever you're using. So these filters are usually managed by the client-side mail server. And for most people that use email, they won't really know about that. So I'm at the University of Tasmania at the moment, and my email box is managed by UTAS, and they've got servers which will filter out those emails. So they actually use a specialised company that does that. That's their specialisation, is determining which emails are junk emails, spam emails, and which ones are good ones. The spam settings can actually be adjusted to filter more mail or less mail. So if you are, remember we talked before about domains, setting up domains and buying mail servers and stuff like that. So if you're involved in that and your staff are complaining that they're getting too many junk mails, you can actually go onto the server settings and increase it, the filter, so it makes it harder for them to get through. Or that might happen, is happening with me at the moment, some emails aren't coming through, and I'm trying to manage my way around to see why they're not getting through the email blockers, right? So these are emails that we actually want to be receiving, but are getting blocked out by the spam filters because the company that sends them, although we want them, they aren't very good at email marketing and they get a lot of blockages. So they are obviously ending up in a lot of blacklists, so they're not coming through. Right, so avoiding spam filters. So clean the email list by deleting email addresses that bounce. So if you send an email and then you get a mail message coming back, like from a server saying this message was unable to be delivered, don't go, not another one. Actually do something with that. So either work out what went wrong. You put the email address in wrong, you've entered the details in wrong, or something's gone wrong. They don't want to be on the list, right? So the email is no longer active. So we've got these different types of bounce back. So a hard bounce indicates that the address is fake and should be removed immediately. So if someone goes, sign up to, you might have done this before when you have to sign up to something and give them your email address to get something back. And this is what we talked about. Remember the once-off benefit compared to the ongoing benefit? If it's just a once-off one, you just give them a fake email and then they'll give you what you want and then you don't have to deal with them anymore. So that's a hard bounce. A soft bounce typically indicates the inbox is full and unable to take more messages. It could be a server problem as well. It could be a multitude of problems. Basically, it's a technical issue that's happening. And inboxes do get full. You've got different types of email servers. So some servers will always keep a copy of the email on the server. So over time, and it's not that the people aren't reading their emails, it's just that the way that they've set up their email account is with an IMAP account, which leaves a version, which is what I do, leaves a version of the email on the server, other than a POP3 account, which deletes it off. So if you've got a POP3 account, it's really good when you've got small server space, because it just downloads them all and deletes them straight away, so it doesn't get full. With an IMAP account, you need to be careful because every now and then your server gets full and you need to go in there and empty it. So if that happens, people might be getting these bounce back messages because the email server's full. Doesn't necessarily mean they don't want the messages, but there's a technical issue there. Non-opening means people are not opening messages, indication for spam filters that it's junk mail. So if you're sending out a lot of email and a lot of those that you're sending out aren't being opened, these companies that manage these spam filters are going to think, well, that company is sending out a lot of junk mail, so they get listed as spam senders. So use double opt-in to ensure that people actually want to receive the communication from your business. The email addresses should be for real people, not marking so these people are not marking the emails as spam who regularly open the emails. So if you've got those three things, then you've got a good email list. So don't think, I'm sending more emails out to lots of people, that's a good thing. No, it's actually better to send emails to less people that are interested in your product. Single opt-in can trick customers into signing up by having permission box already checked, and we've talked about that impact before, and that then makes it easier for you, or makes it harder to avoid getting spam blocked. And once you get spam blocked, like once these companies go, no, that's a dodgy company that's just spamming lots of emails, it's hard to get off that, right? So provide an another way to avoid it, provide an unsubscribe link in every email, and that's actually law in Australia now. Every email that we get through digital marketing needs to have an unsubscribe on there. So if you're not doing that, you could be breaking the law. It's better that people unsubscribe than marking emails as junk mail. It's common to ask for feedback about why people are unsubscribing. I just took a screenshot of one of these things. So this is fairly common questions to ask. So you unsubscribe and it goes, can you please tell us why? And you go choose for one of those. I think the convergence on these reasons are a little bit too high. So I no longer want to receive these emails. I never signed up for the list in the first place. So these two answers are actually kind of the same. If you never signed up from it, you no longer want, well, that's no longer, I suppose. These emails are inappropriate, which means you no longer want to receive them. The emails are spam and should be reported, which means you no longer want to receive them either way. So nevertheless, despite the inaccuracy of recording this information, it gives us digital marketers a bit of an indication of why people are unsubscribing. You can come up with your own ones too, but these are just the common ones. For some reason, the digital marketing community has been running with these responses. Quickly, action unsubscribe request. So someone requests to be unsubscribed and you don't action it straight away, and then they get another one. It's incredibly annoying. Email marketing software does this automatically. So if you use something like MailChimp or these software programs, you get, when they unsubscribe, the software that we use to send emails out automatically does that. Another thing to be careful of is sometimes when you unsubscribe, so you go, I don't want to receive emails from you, you unsubscribe, but you unsubscribe from, like, they unsubscribe you from just one of their email categories, and they might have like 10 different email categories, so you still keep receiving emails from them that you don't want. So you've got to be careful about that too. Like, do you want to unsubscribe from all of our email lists or just the email list about product offers, Alright, so that's it for measuring success and spam filters. In the next section, we're going to be looking at customer relationship management.